And welcome to the Emerging Call. This is another special episode. Last time we were with Avijay Hartwell, who Tomás knows well from the Portugal campaign in the past World Cup. And today is with Tomás Appleton, Portugal's captain, who is getting ready to play against the Springboks, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest game ever for Portugal. We played All Blacks in 2007, so now we collect South Africa. We have already played against Wales. I think it's only Ireland and Wales. I know Wales we played already, so it's only England left to play. So, Tomás, you are almost 48 hours before the match. What's going inside of you? How do you feel for the game?
We're feeling hi, Francisco. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. No, we're feeling well. We're feeling confident. We came from Namibia with a win. Of course, it's a completely different scenario facing double-time world champions. After a defeat, it's once in a lifetime that will happen for sure. At least for these boys' career, probably. But we're really confident and really feeling well what we're doing during this week. And to be honest, the pressure is not on our side; it's on theirs, and we're going to this game to enjoy and to enjoy playing rugby, and of course to prove ourselves and show the world what we're capable of.
Well, that's one of the things. What are you capable of? Since Simon Mannix took charge of the team, everyone is asking me what changes have been going on. So, Tomás, in first hand, and in your opinion, as a captain, as a center, and as a player of the national team, what changes have been going on with the Portuguese national team?
Of course, there were a few changes regarding. It's a whole new process. We've been talking about it since Patrice left. I think we're starting a bit late because we had those months during the Rugby Europe Championship that we lost to start a new process. But I think the biggest changes are the players coming in. To be honest, I think the Portuguese DNA will stay. Our style of play and the way we like to play from edge to edge, play a fast rugby and play with our skills and qualities, and not have a confrontational rugby and physical and everything. So I think the DNA of Portugal will stay. So you can be sure of that.
And that will be assured. Against Namibia, it was a good match. I know the setting was not easy, hot. The field was like concrete. We were playing in a high altitude, so a lot of obstacles, but you surpassed them and gave an excellent score, the best win ever against Namibia in their pitch. So how special was when the match official called the end of the match? What was the feeling of the team? Because it was the first time that you were playing in Africa and winning with Simon Mannix. So can you share to us what was the mindset in the game and after it?
No, I think we went to the game pretty confident. We know where we came from, and we know what kind of standard we need to keep up to. And of course, we are really proud. And every time we win with a national team jersey is a special moment. But we were just going to the game to win, and we were feeling pretty confident. As I said before, every time we get into the pitch is to win, so we're really glad that we did. We had a few. We struggled a bit sometimes, of course, with the conditions. The heat was hard, and the dryness and the altitude as well. And even full credit to Namibia, they had really strong players. They backs move the ball really well, and sometimes they struggle. And we were lucky enough to have some players really inspired, but still we have a lot to work on since that game with Namibia.
Since the Men's Rugby Europe Championship, you went to the final. Long months passed. Everybody is asking me about the semi-pro and the pro stages. So the guys in France in pro, the guys in Portugal, some are amateur, the semi-pro. It's not a mess. It's a confusion. But Tomás, it seems when you are all together, you are able to create something special. We have seen this in the Namibia game, and everyone is expecting something for the Springboks match. So, what are what can you not promise to the fans, because I don't like players to do promises, but what can fans expect from the Portuguese team when you watch you on Saturday at 4 p.m. GMT time, you're facing the world champions?
I think we can. I won't say, yeah, exactly. I won't say promise, but you can expect from the Portuguese team a lot of identity. I think the same style of play and the same DNA that we brought into the World Cup in 2023 will bring the same. We want to score great tries from edge to edge, run with the ball, run fast, and make those Springboks run after us. That's what we really want. So I think you should expect a team that will compete during the 80 minutes.
That's cool to know. Tomás, you and José Lima will face Lucanio Am and Andreas Terhuisen, two of the best centers in the world. You have played a lot already against very good players, star players, legendary players. Now it's time to go against Am and Terhuisen. What are you feeling about it? Because players dream of this all their lifetime, and you're going to have the chance to tackle, and well, we hope to avoid Am and strike a try. So what are you expecting this battle of the centers?
No, I think it's going to be a big challenge for sure. It's gonna be massive. If you look at Terhuisen, is 115 kgs. He's a big man, big unit, but I think we have our strengths as well. If you look at Lucanio Am, he was one of the best players in the world in the last few years. He was unlucky with some injuries, but still we're facing top quality centers. But I think we are really confident. We are those players that me and Zé, we are those kind of players that we don't fear no one. So I think it will be a challenge for them as well. So let's see.
Let's see. We will. Now going just to the camps that you've been doing. Well, you started 4 weeks ago with the players that were in Portugal. Then the guys who were in France joined you. So what was the main concerns of Simon Mannix and Olivier Azam with you guys? What they tried to polish with the team, and to try to put you in a better place compared to where you were in the bench rack, which was not a bad place, but there were areas that you need to improve to this summer tour. So what did improve in your opinion, and what areas do you need still to improve for the future when we have in November games against Scotland and not only?
I would say three main things. Of course, one of them was the physical part. We worked really hard during the last few weeks on our strength and conditioning sessions. That was a main focus for these last weeks. I think Olivier took really well the forwards, and he's looking into really detail around set piece. And this against the Springboks, the best team in the world, it's going to be a huge challenge for us to get a good set piece. I wouldn't say so much difficult in the lineup, but especially in the scrum is going to be a tough day at the office. But I think our front row, it's really confident, and we'll see what the future brings and what the game brings. And with Simon, we changed a few things on our game system, on our game plan. As I said before, the DNA is still there. We want to play fast, but we did some changes. We are really looking to some of the things into a lot of detail, especially breakdown. So I think those were the big focus during the last few weeks.
That's good to know. Tomás, there's something special in this, because it also already started with when Joe Mira was a caretaker coach during between January and April. Now with Simon is happening also with Domingos Cabral, Manel Ferreira, and a lot of new young guys, Antonio Andrade and some others that came in. So for all our worries and everything, we still have a lot of new good guys from early generations making an impact in the national team. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I 100% agree. The future in Portuguese players regarding player-wise is secured for sure. We have so much potential. We have, of course, we struggled a bit in the under-20s in the last two editions of the European Championship, we struggled a bit, but still the young players coming in, they're wonderful players. They have so much talent. We have to remind them, of course, they need to work. They need to work hard. They need to pursue a big rugby career, and they cannot be frustrated when sometimes things don't goes in their way. But still, I think we have a lot of potential, and I hope and that we just keep moving forward, because we have a lot of potential, really.
That's good. No problem. That's good to know, because even in the sevens, we noticed that with a guy from your team, Guilherme Vasconcelos and Stewell, they are very young, but already made a brilliant and massive impact for the sevens. And in the 15s, Domingos Cabral did really well against Namibia in his first outing for the national team. So the future is good, but from here to the next 2 years, 3 years, what needs to happen, Tomás? I know we have talked already a lot about this, but seeing now with the new staff, with the new direction, with the same goals, which is a World Cup, what we have to do, or Portuguese what has to do to keep progressing?
So I think we have to look into a lot of aspects, to be honest. So of course we have a lot of potential, but we work in 4 years process, and it doesn't matter if you have amazing players in this year 2024, when it reaches 2025 they break. So I think we really need a strong process. We need I think we need a lot of games, a lot of quality games with the national team to get a few of the boys a chance to show their skills and show their game. I think Lusitanos I'm sorry.
No problem. Drink water.
I think Lusitanos is going to be a massive thing on the Portuguese rugby future. Is going to be massive, and hopefully, as things are set, we'll have a few important games with the Lusitanos in September and October, and I think this will be a huge platform for Portuguese rugby, and hopefully in 2025, 2026, and approaching the 2027 World Cup in Australia, Lusitanos will grow bigger and bigger. But in my opinion, of course, probably not everyone will think the same, but in my opinion, Lusitanos will be massive for Portuguese rugby, and we really need it, because we have a lot of players playing professional rugby in France, but still we have to keep those players playing in Portugal to keep them at the same level and training at the same level. So, yeah, I would say those are the main things.
Yeah, that's good to know. Tomás, there's something special that I want to talk to you a bit more is about the fans. In Namibia and in South Africa, you were welcomed by a lot of people, a lot of Portuguese descendants, Portuguese immigrants that went to these countries a long time ago, and they welcome you with open arms. I know you had already this experience in France, but going to another place, a new setting, and seeing the same thing, how emotional and special was for the team?
Yeah, it was amazing to be. Portuguese community is huge, and it's big in Namibia, in even bigger in South Africa. You have no idea how was the joy on that airport when we arrived in Bloemfontein. It was amazing. Singing the anthem in the airport was unbelievable, and everyone cheering for us was everything we could ask for. And just knowing some things that, for example, we found out like 2 days ago that 45 buses completely full of Portuguese are driving down from Johannesburg to Bloemfontein. We know that people are coming from Mozambique, people are coming from everywhere to watch this game, and we know that the game is sold out for like 1 month ago. So it's amazing for us, and everything that we could ask for as players. It will be something to. I think it will be something kind of a World Cup environment and energy that we'll face on Saturday, and for us is amazing. And even during the week, the amount of people that come and watch our trainings, the amount of kids that make a huge thing out of us, it's amazing for us, and we feel really glad.
It's important because, well, a good part of the team is built up from guys that are in France. Now 2 guys from South Africa, Sergio Moreira and Cody Tomás. So our diaspora, like we call it in Portugal, is already providing players. So you think moving forward, we need more of this combination of guys that live and play in Portugal and those who are abroad, that they were born there but feel Portuguese. Do you think moving forward we need this power to keep becoming an even stronger team in the future, and a union, of course?
Yes, of course. These players, and we know. I think the 2023 the World Cup was the perfect example of this. The symbiosis between the Portuguese born players and the French born players was amazing, and they made a huge part of our team. And it doesn't matter if they were born in France, they were born in South Africa, they were born wherever it is. We just want players who feel Portugal as we feel as a country, to be proud of it, and if they can bring quality to the team and feel what it is to be Portuguese. They have their space here. So of course, I think it's fundamental to have these players.
You talk about the kids coming to the training. This is an important question, because after the World Cup, we always talk about the impact that you've done on the new generations. Do you think we have had more kids coming to training, watching the games since the World Cup, or you think it's the same before the World Cup? What's your opinion on this?
No, in Portugal there was a massive change. Rugby now it's a different sport, I could say. I think, of course, more around the national team, of course, but the clubs are getting crowded with kids in trainings. The sport is growing, and the problem is not the moment right now. The problem is the thing is, what will we do with so many kids starting to play rugby? How, in 10 years' time, how can we get those kids and launch them into the senior squads and national teams? And I think this is the big challenge.
It's a good challenge to have. Now, looking forward to the match, and what Portugal must not do against the Springboks. They lost against Ireland in the drop kick on the last section of that game. So they will want to give a good impression before the Rugby Championship. So, in your opinion, what Portugal must not do against them, and what must do to get a try or get some opportunities to strike?
I think I'll start with the positive and negative. It's sometimes hard, but I'll start with a must do. So we'll have to win, try to win every collision that we have. Of course, not being collision just running straight away at players, because we want to be bigger, we want to be stronger. We have to be evasive, and that's one of the things we must do to keep a fast ball and keep a fast tempo. We have to not do penalties, so discipline will be a massive thing in our game. Sometimes we got a bit ahead of ourselves and we lose our temper, and we do a lot of penalties. We had a really good penalty score against Namibia. We did 7 penalties, not much, especially if we count that in the first 10 minutes we did 3. So it was a really good thing on our game. And against South Africa, of course, it will be a bit harder, but you have to be really disciplined. And apart from that, we just need to enjoy our rugby and play our rugby as we know how to do.
And now to finish, because I promised you it was 20 minutes. A message to the Portuguese fans first, and then a message to the rugby fans out there that want to hear from you. I'll leave you with just a last question. These games against South Africa and Scotland in November, maybe some of the last ones you're going to have with them because of the new Nations League that's going to get created. In your opinion, we should have more of these type of matches, because it gives the chance of teams like Portugal to be on the center stage, not only globally, but in Portugal, because the game is going to be on the national TV in Canal 11, which is a big sports channel in Portugal. It was free to air. So those are the 3 things: to message and this last question.
So I think regarding the message, do you want me in Portuguese or English? English.
Yeah, we'll go with the English.
Okay, so it's I just wanna welcome you to support os Lobos and be aware that really looking forward to face South Africa. It's gonna be sorry, this is my cough is not great. I think it's gonna be a massive moment for Portuguese rugby. It's gonna be a massive game for us. It's not every day that you face double time world champions, and you can expect great things from us. We are really confident for this match and for this weekend, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, fun.
Sorry.
And
sorry.
if you want to answer that question about these, that we need these type of games for the future because they're important or not, in your opinion, if you prefer to play against teams like Namibia, Canada, USA, Romania more a year.
I think it's funny because today I was speaking to some of the other older senior players, and I was speaking to them and saying what do we want to take from this game, and what is the kind of message that we want to take from this game. And one of the thing that we were thinking about it like a brainstorm, it was this is the first time we face the best team in the world. So this is like the way we set the standard for our team, and we really have to perform. We really have to do well, and then we can have a look and say, oh, we have to improve in this area. We have to some things we are doing well, some things we are doing wrong. And this is going to be a massive test for us, and we really need these games to do so. Of course, we need games more balanced between teams. Of course, I could say the teams that you were talking about, but as we showed before, we can really even sometimes outperform teams like Wales, like even Australia, like Georgia, like Fiji on the World Cup. And I think it's a balance between those, but we cannot for sure lose this type of opportunities to play against tier 1 teams. And this game is going to be massive. The game in Murrayfield in November against Scotland is going to be a massive game for us. So I think we really need to keep them having them.
That's good to know. Tomás, just last thing we remember now, for the South African fans going to be on the stands watching the game, what would be a best song or anthem or words they could chant in the game to motivate Portugal? Can you share, say it in Portuguese so they understand, but can you share to us what would be a good,
I think you probably heard Portugal also, right?
Yeah, I know it, but how it goes? Come on, sing it for us.
No, it's like sou de Portugal, eu sou, e para todo lado eu vou só para te ver ganhar.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay, so people, if you want to just replay this last bit and you'll hear it, the words. Exactly. Tomás, thank you again for talking to me. It was, as every time, amazing. Good luck for Saturday for you and Zelimi, because it's going to be one of the biggest battles in the pitch, you and Jose against Lucanio and Andre. So it's going to be great. You can watch Tomás Appleton and the Portuguese national team this Saturday at 4 p.m. GMT time, and against the world champions, the Boks. And good luck. And let's say wave goodbye to everyone at home so that they can watch.
Bye-bye.
Show. Bye.